You know, I used to think that as a social scientist, I was an amateur designer, because social science is about designing the world in different ways, right? How do we design a cafeteria to get people to eat better? How do we design a form to get people to cheat less? All those things. But as I meet with more and more designers and entrepreneurs, I think that often it's the designer and entrepreneurs who are an amateur social scientist. And I think everybody would benefit if the social scientists learn more about design, and the designers and entrepreneurs would learn more about social science.
What's really interesting with the Startup Lab is that their approach is to apply the scientific method and scientific knowledge to business.
The field of behavioral economics has taught us so much about how people think, how they make judgments and decisions. It would be irresponsible of us not to apply this to business. That's why the Startup Lab's mission is to help entrepreneurs design products that enable people to make better health and financial decisions. We do this in two ways. First, by helping them test their ideas through experimentation. And second, by helping them apply the findings that social science has already uncovered. This is what we call our behavioral toolkit.
It's saying, let's take all of our toolkit, all the ways in which we know how to influence people, and let's see which one of those we can add, like spices, to the mixture of incentives to get people to behave in a particular way.
We were trying to make people spend better, save more, and we know that that is not easy. Changing people's behavior is something very difficult, something that you have to experiment and study a lot. When we heard about this Startup Lab, we said it's the best way to learn more about behavioral economics and how to apply those concepts and interventions towards our product.
We think that the main barrier for good behavior is knowledge. That's kind of part of the rational approach. You see, people are always behaving rationally. People are always making the right choice. If they're not, it must mean that they just don't know. And if we only told them, everything would be fine.
But of course we know that people don't always act rationally. So when startups come to the Startup Lab, we first look at how people actually behave, and we help them to build products that are more in line with their human users. And we don't only dip into the pool of existing research. We also teach startups to create their own behavioral interventions.
Why is it important to run experiments all the time? Well, it's just change the way in which you create your product, because you're no longer just relying on your instinct. You are relying on data, and this makes a big difference.
The greatest benefits that startups take away from the program aren't the money or the resources, probably not even the curriculum or the results of any particular experiment. They're the intangibles, the relationships that they form with the center, with our mentors, with our network of partners.
And so you're not just getting this pure academic setting, you're getting this group of people who are experts at taking academic thought and putting it into the real world, which is really what they do here at the lab. So that was something that was really surprising to us, is how much we actually got to interact, not just with people at the university, but with other partners, large firms that are in the area that engage with the lab and with Dan, and then provide a community to really help your product and your thought process grow.
So if you're looking to join our community and learn how to use experimentation and our behavioral toolkit to build more effective products, then apply to the Startup Lab.